Namaste, my beautiful queens, my beautiful Patreons. You know, I was thinking about this kind of video for a couple of weeks already, and finally gonna do it today. I was thinking about it. The thing is, when we meet, and of course nothing happens as coincident, when we meet somebody in our life, those we fall in love with, those who become our partners or shake us to our core. The thing is that when we become awakened, we become doubtful about everything and anything. Everything we see, everything we feel, everything we know, everything we don't know. And when it happens, the guides, the keepers of the universe start giving us the signs. It could be so many signs. It's for example, if your name is Jessica, or your name is I have a funny name. My real name is not Lala, my real name is Allah, which would be like abbreviation, but for example, your name or his name is John, for example. Take just a simple name. For example, his name is John, and you start seeing his name in random places. You thinking about some question and you turn on the radio and it's going to be the answer to your question. He has his favorite colors. You start seeing his favorite color. This thing, the bottom line is the universe starts, and keepers and guides, they start to give you the hints, because what happens is, in majority of cases, the keepers, the observers of yours, we all have them. They are not allowed to interfere into our life. They only allowed to slightly guide us and give us the hints where we can find the answers. And it could be the YouTube videos, it could be the book, which you come to a bookstore to get yourself coffee. You, for example, you were not going to get any coffee, and the book just falls, because I saw it many times, it falls from the shelf by itself, just in front of you. You can pick it up. You see, they give you the hints. You can pick it up and buy it and understand clearly, this is the sign, this is something you need to see, this is something you need to know. And you can buy it and read that book, or you can put it back on a shelf. Or I've received so many emails telling me that people got recommendation of my videos out of blue. They were never watching no readers, no videos like this. They never heard of tarot before, or never were interested in it. And it's very often it was like this. I was sad, I was kind of depressed, I was also bored, and then I just clicked it and I started to listen to it and I got my answers. So we are being given the signs, we're being given the the hints in the places, spaces where we can get the answers to our question, which can lead us to our next level. So females, the feminine, our feminine energy, we are more connected to the source. Basically, we seldom lose that connection. So we do get these signs. Usually we don't ignore those signs. We pay attention to them. But the thing is that our guys, they also, of course, just like us, they have their keepers and guides. And sometimes you too have the same group of keepers which are watching both of you. So I wanted to see, does he receive the signs about you from the guides and keepers? And does he actually pay attention to these signs? Does he take them, or he just brushes them off and keep on going? Please choose choose one card of three. Let me see how I want to do that. I will start with one card, and if I need the clarification, I will add another one. I will use my one of the strongest decks I have, the gift for me from Ciro Marchetti, the creator of this deck, when it was still unavailable. Asking the spirits of fire, earth, air, and water, the guides and the keepers, to give us the answers to our questions. And we will do card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. So we will start with 1, and then if I need clarification, I'll take 1. So number 1, does he get this signs, and does he take them into consideration? Does he pay attention? Queen of Cups, absolutely, of course. Let me get one more card. I'm going to put one more card, especially if you are a Queen of Cups, especially if you are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We're going to put one more card here. Oh, and the Devil. Oh, my God. One more card here and one more card here. We are dealing with such a complicated thing here, my beauties. Oh, my goodness. Those of you who got card number 1, absolutely, he gets them everywhere. But this, forgive my words, idiot sees it as something he needs to be running away from. First of all, the Queen of Cups, of course, it's a ridiculous amount of the signs which he sees about you, because the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Cups. It's a woman which awakens the very core in a man, a woman who is so deep, so kind, so generous and giver, a woman, a giver who this cup is like a pure healing water, a woman who is she gets to the deepest cores of that man. She awakens those erotism and trust and compassion. She's kind and generous, no matter who you are. Sometimes in the spreads, you will see me sometimes as Queen of Cups, even though I'm Queen of Wands, because it's my emotional stage as a Queen of. You will even see me as a Queen of Swords if there is a situation where I have to fight for justice. So, a woman, he sees you pretty much, probably he sees your face in the sky, in the moon, in the clouds, in everywhere, but he is considering, he sees, oh yes, he sees those signs, especially if this man is being in a cage of any in a cage of any restrictions, if it's a married man or if it's a society position man or whatever. He has such an enormous pull to you, and I will give you quickly an example of myself. Of course, imagine you already know me long enough, and you of course know that I am nothing in me could be considered the energy of the devil. I would not be a devil. I have no shadow in me. But if you ask, for example, the question about my TF, how he sees me, then this would be always in the spread. He would always see me as a devil, as such a temptation, such a pull, such thing which impossible to forget, impossible to tear out of your mind, of your heart. You are in his very core. So of course we have either karma here or more, but he sees the signs, the universe gives him the signs about you on every step and every breath. your name or your favorite flowers or your name, your favorite colors or your favorite books and your favorite expression, things which you mentioned when you knew him or you know him, things which you both shared, he's being bombarded by all the signs the universe is giving him about you. But because he is a stubborn mule, he considers you you are not evil. No, you are this risk of, if he follows you, if he walks towards you, if he does anything at all towards you, like his life completely gonna be disastrous. Another thing I can tell you, this man can have, because this is a queen here, this man can have a woman near him. It could be his mother or his sister, some female who can tell him about you all these things, like any step towards this woman, anything at all, and it's gonna bring you to absolute disaster. Stay away from her. So imagine this poor man, imagine the huge suffering of this man. He closes his eyes, he sees you. He opens his eyes, he sees you. He sees you in the sun, moon, ocean, the wind, but he fights with these feelings and emotions every single moment, every breath he takes, phantom passion. And the thing is, this is a stage he has to go through. This devil brings a shadow. I have written a description of a devil in details in my book, and I probably will put it here on Patreon, not on YouTube, but here specifically what devil means in love. And he has to go through this. He has to face his shadow, and through the shadow he has to come to light, and he has to see you were not the one bringing him into the shadow and distract and destroy anything he was building. You are there. You came into his life just with the opposite goal. But he's very emotionally he's entangled with you in every possible way. And of course, because he can't have control over such pull and such connection, of course he tries every possible and impossible way to get away from it, because he's a control freak, and now he's not controlling it. He can't control what he feels, and he can't control all the signs are given to him, but he's so far in a fight. But this is what we have in this two cards, my beautiful queens. We are having the Devil and the Queen of Cups. So let us see the rest of the cards. We will put this one here. Number 2 is universe giving him the signs about you, and does he see, does he follow it? This is obviously your dude right here, the Knight of Wands. So he gets a very specific type of the message. The thing is, when he just met you, before he met you or before you entered his life, this was like this type of a man, especially if you are dealing with fire sign, if you're dealing with Aries or Sagittarius. This man is bright, sexy, sensual. He lightens up, fires up when he sees pretty much what woman was to him. Woman to him was this pretty beautiful toy. He didn't give a damn about what there was in her soul, in her heart, and nothing like that. He sees a woman, he sees a new toy, he wants the toy, he throws all his charm, all his passion, everything there, he throws it all there. He gets this toy, toy. He plays with this toy for 1 to 3 nights, or maybe a little bit longer, but then he gets bored with the toy and he goes and get not a type of a man who would commit or think much of a woman having any, depth or the intellect or a mind or something like this. So responsibility is not his thing, give me a break. So before he met you, it's this type of Don Juan. Before he met his true love, or it's a Casanova before he met the love of his life, Henriette, but he didn't stop being Casanova. Even though he loved Henriette, he still kept on going with tons of women. But let's not talk about Casanova or Don Juan, but it's simply this type of a man. Sparks everywhere, sexual temperament. He sees a toy, gets a toy, has sex, gets away from her. Usually he can have sex with a woman on a first date because he knows how to press those buttons. He's very hard to resist. So this is what he was before he met you. Then you walk into his life. Totally different story, absolutely different story. Hierophant is an example of absolute spiritual. What is Hierophant? Hierophant is the equivalent of Pope. But the thing is that Hierophant, as you who came into his life as Hierophant, comes and makes him question everything he ever knew before. He ever considered right before. So of course Hierophant is very spiritual, and please don't confuse spirituality with religion. I already explained many times that spirituality has nothing to do with the religion. Religion is dogma. Dogmas and rules are written by people to rule people, control people, one group of people controlling another group of people. Spirituality is your connection to the source, understanding that you are here for a reason, you are here for a specific mission, specific goal. So this guy was walking around, living his life, having fun, not thinking about anything, asking himself no questions, getting no answers. You come an absolute different story, absolutely turn his world upside down, and for the first time in his life, he no longer feels, when you walked into his life, even if you are not there in his life now, you're still there, because Hierophant, the fifth arcana. So you came. And at the beginning, it wasn't big deal, because at the beginning, you were just the same thing, like everyone else. Every woman and every female to him is the same thing. It's like a bottle of beer of a different brand. But here you put him on a different, you took him from one road he was walking, and you put him on another road, which he probably is still trying to go back to his old ways. But after you meet Hierophant, it's a wise man. It's this Volhva, the wise man, which came to give the gifts to baby Jesus. Again, that has nothing to do with religion. Wolves were the wise men of keepers of ancient knowledge. So when you meet such a man, you turn everything you turn everything in you. So you came into his life with your unbelievable qualities, with your purity. You see, it's purity, but with enormous inner strength and core and knowledge and depth. And you came and his little things, he started to absolutely being confused. He started asking himself questions which he didn't ask before, which he never was even thinking about. So of course the also Hierophant is connected with the source, and he started to see a lot of signs, but he gets very specific signs, very deep signs from the source, from the universe. It can be because this man is also connected through karma with you, and you were such an awakening of his very core. So you are, he's looking up, he's taking you as an example of purity, strength, but also you are not a coward. You are also brave. You are not afraid to say to the face of a man or to the face of anyone. For example, you even if when you are afraid to open up your feelings, for example, you saying, and you know what, I love you, even knowing that you are a player, even knowing you are, you know, how you see women, I love you, my heart opened up for you, you got into my heart. But at the same time, you know what, Hierophant is not, come on, it's a pope. Hierophant is not at anyone's feet. Hierophant is on his throne, but not a physical throne, but on a throne of a spirit. So he had no other choices that start to change, and it's, this change might not be very fast, but he's not stupid, he's not idiot. So he gets into the wisdom of spirituality. He probably reads books or watches some subjects on online, the things which he haven't even was thinking before. But the same time, he needs to, it's a type of a man who needs to get proof. Like, prove me that it's there if I can touch it with my fingers. So he needs to find this peace. I mean, you mean so much, because Hierophant, you are on pedestal for him in his spiritual level, in his soul. You are the quintessence of purity, quintessence of truth, quintessence of depth, and of course he can't do his old ways anymore, no matter how hard he tries. But at the same time, he still needs a lot to learn, but he gets it very often. The signs of the guides and the keepers are in the dreams, in situations when he's simply living his day-to-day life. But it's not just the signs which remind him about you. No, these are the signs which remind him about you, but in a way of Hierophant. Like, it's not just a woman when he looks at a picture of on a magazine, and I don't know, she reminds the cover girl reminds him of you. No, he can, it's much deeper signs. He can hear a very deep song, and then that song somehow brings his thoughts towards you. It's much deeper level of universe and keepers giving him the signs about you. He's still learning, because he used to be this hot man. It doesn't matter what age he is, you know, he can be 60 but still acting like the Knight of Wands. But it's a very global changes in him, global transformation. And yes, he does pay attention, because it's not possible not to pay attention to Hierophant. And let's take the last three. Oh, well, this one is complicated. He is being given so many signs about you that this is the scariest card of all. The 78 arcanas, they rarely have the all of the cards, they have the not negative meaning, but from 78 arcanas there is only one card which is very negative, and this card is 10 of swords. In this deck, it's not looking as scary. In this deck, the swords are not is stuck in his back, because in the classical deck it's a man lying on the ground with 10 swords in his flesh. It's someone who had been betrayed and destroyed. Now the thing is that not just you walking into his life, this is very often as a married man, but of course not for all of you. You walking into his life, it was like if he died, and he died and he was born again. So it was very, very brutally sharp truth which you brought into his life. If he was married or he was in relationship, when you walk into his life, he clearly saw that his relationship before you, or his marriage if he is married, not just it had been dead for recently, but it had been completely, it was dead for years. It is such a brutal breaking moment of his life that the meeting you was such a brutal event in his life. It's like the thunderstorm. It's like everything is over and now I have to start all over again. When you came into his life, it was a very clear realization for this man that he must completely cut everything connecting him with the past, with the life he was living before you. Absolutely and completely and 100%. He had to cut it off and starting living by the new rules. So what he did, because he didn't do it, the universe, the source, the keepers clearly show him that you are living, but you are not living. The card of frozen heart. The card of a man who killed in himself or suppressed to the point when he feels nothing, killed in himself the ability to feel anything, because in the past, when he followed his emotion or his impulse called by feelings, this man said, never again, because it's a disaster. So he said, never, I'm gonna go and follow my soul, the voice of my soul, of my heart. So we are dealing with a very extremely unhappy person. So unhappy that he's a robot. He has to constantly stimulate himself with whatever coffee, gallons of coffee or cigarettes, and coffee may be something else, because it's unfortunately he's walking, talking, you know, but it's a robot. He frozen everything in him. He deep inside he created this chunk of ice where his heart and soul, because he considered anything connected with heart and soul is gonna be a disaster. And he keeps on carrying this old paradigm, being suffering tremendously. And the guides and the keepers give him so many signs. I want another card. A poor thing. Poor man. What? It's like, look at this. You see this man? This is how he is. He lost any hope. He doesn't raise his head up, because he doesn't even believe anymore that anything can be changed, anything can be done, anything can be like, it's just, I must keep on carrying it as it was. He sees no future. He has no dreams. He doesn't want to see. Even if, angel jumps from a cloud and comes to him and says, listen, look at me. I just came from heaven. I jumped from a cloud. And he's going to be just looking down, and he's going to be just telling, no, this is not happening. You are not standing in front of me. He's paralyzed by fears, paralyzed by what happened, and it's very sad. Let's get another card here. Okay, that's better. This is, in order to get to heaven, you need to die first. The sun, and the sun is major arcana. He's gonna come out to it, because the sun, of course, we're having here 10 and 10. Look, like here we have 10 and we have 10 right here, and we having two signs of 10, and we are having the number 19 here. 19 is going to be giving us 10 again, and it's going to give us 1. So this transformation might take him approximately 1 circle of time passing, means 1 year, but this cannot last forever. The sun is going to brightly shine on him, and it's gonna happen probably because we're having sun. This we can expect in springtime or summertime of next year, but I would wish to do the deep reading on this, see what's going on there with this particular man. But he will start seeing it, and he has to, because he already reached almost his rock bottom, and only after you completely reach your rock bottom you can start going up. He's almost there, and when he already completely there on this rock bottom, then he's gonna raise his head looking up, seeing the sun, and started coming out into the light. So you are his son. This is all, my beautiful queens, for this reading. I hope you got some answers to your question. I am wishing you all the best, and I will talk to you later. Namaste.